Okay, this is Hot Takes Two Mics.
But
So, what do you want to talk about today?
uh, today I'm kind of tired. Today my 9 to 5 really wore me out. Let me tell you.
Because you got like all this new like responsibility.
Well, the thing is, I didn't even. I recently got promoted to a job that I've been working many months now. So and I had to push for this promotion and whatnot. While taking on the responsibility of this promotion, right? It's kind of backwards at the company. So I had to work the job and then I get promoted. I take on additional responsibility and then I get, it's kind of backwards, but I really love what I do. So I continue to do it. But yeah, I just in back to back meetings all day. I have a ton of responsibility. I was supposed to hire a position to backfill my last position, and that got put on pause until April. And
So you what you were doing, and now this.
yeah. So I just have a ton on my plate, and I'm just like inundated with corporate bullshit, like meetings and emails, and just in like a hamster wheel that I need to try to get out of. But we'll see. But no, what took it out of me today is like in back to back meetings, all like literally from 11 a.m. until 4:30. Um, and then yeah, back to back. There's a couple that ended early, so I was able to get some water and whatnot. But one of the other things is like we had a new team discussion and or a team meeting today, and one of our team members is moving to a different team, but it's a bunch of like corporate red tape bullshit, and like I just feel so bad for my teammate, and we were just chatting like offline via text, and we were both like, this doesn't make any sense. And supposedly the company did this same switch years ago and it didn't work. And now they're doing it again.
So they're doing the same bullshit again, not learning their lesson, and they're gonna have to go through the entire it's they shot themselves in the foot, then they shot themselves in the foot again.
Well, exactly. And now it's like they're playing with somebody's career. And obviously that position in and itself is no longer stable, you know? And just like knowing the whole backstory and how like this transition was even posed to this person was just like super uncomfortable, right? So it's just like a lot of mental bandwidth to kind of think about it and think, because there will be implications to like the stuff that I have going on, because we're on the same broader team, but that person and I are also on the same smaller team, right? We report to the same person. And in a way, we share budget. Not really, like we have our separate budget, but if need be, we can pull and tug each other's. If that makes any sense.
That's just a bad idea.
Yeah. So anything that is going to go on with that person now, like, will directly affect, what I have available, which is like the worst idea for that portion of the budget to be transitioned, not only because of like selfish reasons, but because like they've already proven to not resourcefully use this budget. And I already am like carrying the team because that completely separate team cannot hit goal ever. And so I don't think it makes a ton of sense to say, oh, a team that doesn't hit goal or like stay within budget, let's transfer all these responsibilities to that team with that budget and hope to God that after they've proven time and time and time and time again, they can't effectively manage it. Let's try it again. It's just, it's insanity. So whatever. I mean,
It sounds like
paycheck.
it sounds like just bureaucracy at its finest.
It honestly, that is the perfect way to sum it up. It's a bunch of bureaucracy and a bunch of like ego at this point, because a lot of these transitions and changes that we're going through, like they never bothered to talk to the SMEs, the leads, like nope. They're just going to tell us what is best for us And it's just like, actually, I know without a shadow of doubt that's not the best for us. They want me to come up with projections and tracking and all this stuff. And I do. I got in this big conversation where the person that I report to is like, why is this not working? And I'm like, because it's not going to work. And she's like, well, why didn't you say something sooner? It's like, I did like 4 times. My only stance on this is that it's not going to work. She's like, well, then why would you do this up 4 times? I'm like, because you told me to do it with those numbers and those goals and those expectations. I'm sorry if I misunderstood. Like, it's not going to work. You're sending me on a suicide mission.
No.
So it's just like a bunch of stuff like that. And, moral of the story, corporate America is a bunch of bureaucracy. And I honestly don't even understand how half these companies are profitable. Like, honestly, like, is corporate America all a big sham? Because I just don't see how there could be like profit with some of this stuff.
I'm not in corporate America. I'm in manufacturing, so I can't tell you.
I don't know if anybody can tell us, because with all these corporate bailouts every freaking couple of years,
that probably tells you enough where it's probably not profitable.
Yeah, literally. So sometimes capitalism works, other times people are just spinning wheels, and it's like money is just going in a circle. And it feels like you spend as much just to make as much, and anyways, more of the story.
It's not capitalism. That is bureaucracy and bloat.
Well,
whenever a leader is gone and is supplanted by the board, it's usually just that. It's the circle until it's dead.
Yeah. Well, what I was getting at is like there's a lot of bureaucracy where I'm for sure. But capitalism, is kind of like what I was getting at in my thought process is like capitalism, right? Where you have a huge company and you make it big, you're making money. Like capitalism does win sometimes, and then other times it turns into pure bureaucracy bullshit.
And that's usually when the leader steps down.
Mm-hmm.
When that air quotes leader, the one that has the good ideas, the one that keeps everything kind of organized, slim, keep pushing forward. When that falls apart, when that leader steps down, that's when it kind of falls apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I bet you it wasn't like that when the founder was there. Because the founder has the idea, and then you bring in people that never built anything in their lives, that their only job is to keep this thing from dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I work in a pretty historic industry.
That's probably why it feels like that.
Yeah, there's a ton of history behind it. It's one of those things that have been around for a bajillion years. And unfortunately, it's kind of like a dying industry as well. Well, it's not dying, it's evolving. Just like, I don't want to get into it too much, obviously, for many reasons. I want to be clear. I need a paycheck, so don't be super searchers. I don't need a super detective. Leave me and my career out of it.
If we could support both of us off this,
yeah. Then you guys could be super detectives. Until then, leave me out of it. Yeah, it's just so funny because I can see where we need to improve, but my executive team can't. And it's like they're searching in all the wrong places.
Yeah. And it's because they're thinking on how to make sure that this thing stays alive, not how can we improve upon it.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And I feel like I'm kind of spinning wheels to keep something.
You're trying to improve on something that no one wants to improve on.
Yeah, exactly. And they'd rather me spin my wheels and just push. And it's just I know sooner or later it's going to shoot me in the foot the same way it did my teammate. So it's kind of the reason I'm so mentally taxed is because thinking about all of that's a lot, because it has major implications on the way that our team is going to be moving. Right. And so it's just oh man, when does one person know that it's time to get out of a job, right? Because I don't want to lose a job. I don't want to get laid off. I also don't want to be taken for granted, which I most definitely.
It's probably time right about now to be like looking and like giving other people like the ability to like hire you.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially now, like how much experience do you have in this field?
Well, in my industry, because I'm in a different sector of an overall industry, but my expertise, I have about 8 years. So I'm getting pretty, I mean, I am a
So
senior.
that is yep. And now you have it as you're being paid this.
Mhm.
You can say, hey, I have this backlog of experience. I wasn't paid it, but now I have that paycheck. You can you can go around and be like the real like big person and like really get a good paying job and like in a field in a company that really does appreciate you and really wants you to like thrive.
I was in a really, really good position, like starting off because they gave me like a pretty big shot. I mean, I had the experience to get this opportunity for sure. But just the way it happened was pretty interesting. And I felt pretty lucky, and I continued to feel pretty lucky. And then I got so lucky that then I realized it was sort of being taken advantage of. And I'm super grateful still. I love the job. I love the team. I love the autonomy. I love the ability to kind of curate something into like what my vision is. Yeah, I think it's time to kind of just for my own mental sanity to just do something different. Because I've been doing this a long time, and I'm just like I myself, and I'm just going in circles. It's like I'd like something to excite me again. I'm like not all that excited. I'm pretty bogged down by the corporate red tape, bureaucratic bullshit that I continually deal with. Like, give me a break. I literally almost lost my shit today because somebody who is on my team who reports to me, they were like, oh, because I'm trying to keep everything good.
I think you could use like she her.
Well,
she them.
We can, but I just want to keep things very high level. But I'll try to keep it neutral. They came to me and were like, oh, like I had to do this, I had to split this up and do it this way for something that just makes zero sense.
No.
Like just 0 sense. It's like breaking out a request into 2 requests for no other reason other than control. And like this other team who are dependent on for certain things, it's just like they've made the process so incredibly difficult that it's just like I actually like started like getting flustered. I was just like, send this to me in an email, tell me exactly who told you to do it and why they did it this way. And I'm going to take this up the ladder because at this point, why are they duplicating work? So they took this type of request, should be one request, and my asks are very easy. Take you an hour, maybe, if you know what you're doing, and the team should know what they're doing. We have a 6-month lead time.
That's pretty good.
For something that should take an hour.
Wait, what? Wait. You have a 6-month lead time for something that takes an
From the time that I submit the request, they have 6 months for something that should take an hour. So I'm already hyped about this process, right? And now they're trying to break it out even further. And I'm like, this is where I draw my line. This is where I pull that seniority card. Like, all right, we're going toe to toe now because I dealt with your guys' shenanigans from when it was 3 months to 4 to 5. Now it's 6. And now you want me to break out my most simple request and break it out into multiple. Like, you got the right one today. And so now I had this person send me all that information, and now I'm about to go toe to toe and start freaking kicking down doors and being like, this bureaucratic bullshit needs to cut it out because and mind you, so it's one type of request. These forms have gotten so far away from what they're actually requesting. They no longer include questions on the actual request. So, like, I'm asking, it's creative, right? These creative forms no longer even ask what you want on the creative, the sizes, the format, nothing. It's insane. It's like, why is this form that's supposed to be for creative? Why is it not inclusive of the things for the creative image? Like, we're just submitting a form, and who knows what's going to be on it? Who knows what size? Who cares what format? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's supposed to say shit. I don't even know what to say about it. I'm kicking down
I
doors
just
tomorrow.
build stuff. I don't do all this like form things. I just build stuff. So I am as lost as you guys are.
I just want to, just anybody listening to this, if you work for a huge corporation, I'm talking top 100 companies in the country, and you have any say so, stop making shit so difficult. Like, everybody needs a process, everybody needs best practices. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it light. Jesus Christ, we all have lives, and I don't need to kill myself filling out forms so that you guys can like have a bunch of unnecessary information. Hey, I need this image, I need it in this size, and this is the vibe I want. That's all you need, fuckers. Jeez. It's ridiculous.
This is like a therapy. This episode's a therapy session for you right now.
It literally is.
You're just venting.
They got the right one today, because you want to know what? I am ready to kick down some doors because I've drawn my line. I'm like, I already gave it to them. I was already pissed when they pushed back the lead time. I was really pissed at 6 months. That's when I started escalating things. Now this is where I draw my line. You're not duplicating work for my people. Like, hey, if you need to inconvenience me, all right. You're duplicating work for my people over some idiotic bullshit? Mm-mm. No, I protect my people. Got the right one. Told you to do that? Send him my way. We're rolling with this. Let's go. Like, I'll pull out the seniority card to protect my people, protect their bandwidth over some idiotic shit. Give me a break. Mm-mm. Anyways, yeah. So I had a pretty tough day at work. We could talk about something else.
You want to talk about what happened in the news recently?
Yes. So the United Healthcare assassin, what his name's Luigi?
It's something real Italian.
It is Luigi Mango one. I don't know.
Wait, his actual first name is Luigi?
Yeah, his actual first name.
Holy crap.
He supposedly has a meltdown before hearing and screams, it is an insult to America's intelligence. I want to know why they think that he did it.
That he's not being charged with the assassination. It's just what the media is saying. He was charged for having a ghost gun in a place where you're not allowed to have it.
It's a ghost gun, would you say?
A 3D printed gun.
Okay.
A suppressor where you're not allowed to have it. Several fake IDs. Which I'm like, okay, yes, okay, I understand that. The suppressor and the 3D printed gun, I will contest, but those two, I'm like, well, you fucked up. So that is what he's being charged with. Mm-hmm. No one can put him at the scene of the crime. I think supposedly he has a manifesto. But again,
supposedly, where is this manifesto?
It's not released. There have been a few so-called copies that have been put on the web. None have been verified. So this is still very new. It happened today. It's still kind of up in the air. One theory is very scary. Of this guy, supposedly he had like everything. 6-figure salary, was very fit, was doing very well. He had like scoliosis, like something with his like lower back where it like almost pinched a nerve, but like he's like having severe pain. He pushes through it, goes and does like he has an accident, like a surfboarding accident, because he was living in Hawaii when this happened.
A self-boarding?
Surf.
Oh, surfboard. Okay.
Surfboarding accident. And he is facing the possibility of him losing all mobility in his lower extremities. Apparently, he's been given the runaround by the insurance. Also, with his family, he's being given the runaround.
Yeah, he supposedly has a pretty wealthy family.
He was digging into his savings just to help him live and his family live. And another thing is, because of that lower back injury, he might be impotent. So he might not be able to do anything with like a woman at all. So all that with the sexual frustration he's probably having probably pushed him over the edge.
That is a very, the way you framed it is very convincing.
Here's another fact.
Is it a fact or is it a...
People that are, or men that are 28 and younger have probably never been with a woman.
What?
Men that are 28 and younger have probably never been with a woman.
On what scale?
American.
I don't think that.
The last I saw, it was about 60% from the age of 24 to 24 and younger that are still virgins. You can look it up. This was in 2020. This research came out.
What percentage?
Do you know like when like a revolution happens?
Okay, also, but I didn't know that that's happening in Japan.
Oh, it is huge in Japan. But they have their culture has a chokehold over like what you're supposed to do. Our culture doesn't have a chokehold.
So, according to the Washington Post, 28% of men under 30 had not had sex in the last year. Okay, that's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and this is from 2019. So, 20 to 24, 14% of males are virgins. Gen Zs found that 37% of Gen Zers and women are virgins. According to Christianity Today, so let's take this one like a grain of salt. Only 1 in 10 American men enter marriage a virgin. Okay, that's...
Well, that is, if you look at the track record, if both men and women go into a marriage as a virgin, that marriage lasts until the death.
Okay, see, wait, what'd you say?
If they did a study where if both men and women go into a marriage of virgins, that marriage lasts until either one of them dies.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. In this, 50%, okay, so in this one, 50.52% of men between the age of 18 and 20 are virgins. For men over the age of 25, but not older than 30, only 1%, 1.9, so essentially 2%.
That was in 2019?
This is published in 2020. This is a different
But
one.
there's a significant amount of young men that are sexually frustrated. And young men have the monopoly on violence.
Yeah, no duh.
So young men would rather have the society we built burn around them just to be given a chance. And I think we're starting to see that now.
I don't know.
Who's ready?
People are. I don't even know. Honestly, I think this guy. I mean, you're painting a photo of like you're painting a picture that I could definitely see, especially if he's having issues around whether it be his sexuality, his mobility, like anything.
It's probably around his mobility and his ability to like get it up and actually like
Sure.
be able to.
Yeah. So I mean, it paints a picture, but I wonder what else they kind of like have on him. And honestly, with the more that is coming out about United Healthcare and like their overall like stance and whatnot, it really is kind of crazy. Like we pay them money, like insurance, big insurance is fault. Like we pay them money for them to just no, we're not going to pay that. No, we're not going to pay that. No, we're not going to pay that. That's kind of crazy.
Also, like if you look into it, do you know why the medical bills are so insane in the United States?
Because we allow
Because insurance deals want a discount.
yeah.
So the hospitals increase the prices of everything, so the insurance looks like they're getting a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That is why our hospital bills are so insane compared to everywhere else in the world.
If you literally like if and this is just advice to anybody who's ever listening to this, if you ever have like a crazy bill, you can always ask for the Medicare price. What's the Medicare price? What's the Medicare price?
You can put you can say, hey, can I get an itemized list?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised what the itemized list says. It's like $20 for like a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
That you don't use.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. I mean, overall,
Like-
the whole health industry in America needs to be like looked at. And like, again, obviously, I'm not for a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit, but that is an industry that needs serious revamping to make it work.
It needs some oversight because of
Mhm.
medical and like we need this.
Mhm.
So, and they've been screwing us for a while.
Well, what's so funny is like we pay insurance whether we use it or not.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us, like the reason why
And also-
insurance is a profitable business, which is so crazy to me. Because like we're all paying all of this money every month, like 4, 5, 600. That's thousands of dollars a year for
It's
them to like deny things.
it's not just we need to. We literally have to. Otherwise,
Legally.
yeah, you legally have to pay for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Now, the insurance company should be regulated almost like your electric bill
Mm-hmm.
at that point. Because
Yeah.
now you are no longer a private entity. If I have to pay for you,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what I do, then you stop becoming a private entity and you become a part of a public service.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. Like we have to pay taxes for police. Okay, we have to pay taxes for
Land.
no, not land. It's another like public service thing. Firefighters.
Oh,
We
I
have to
thought
pay-
we were just shooting off things that our taxes pay for.
No. Well, yeah, Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah.
Forest services. We have to pay taxes into that, so they must be part of public.
Well, here's a wild idea. And I know this kind of goes towards socialism, but like there has to be a way for healthcare to be a public service and for it to be fair and for it to work. Like Canada's is failing. It's obviously
Oh.
failing.
Everyone that does government paid like healthcare, it's failing right
Really?
everywhere.
Even in like Sweden?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because of illegal immigration.
Hmm.
Because you got a bunch of people that aren't paying into the system. And in
So there has to be a way to
in
make it
Canada,
work.
you are more likely to get prescribed suicide than you are prescribed an actual cure.
Yeah. What do you
Which
mean
is-
suicide?
MAID. Medical assistance in dying. Like, they prescribed it for someone. Get this. This is real. They prescribed it to MAID to someone that literally just wanted a ramp into their home. A ramp into their home. So they can actually live in their home without, like, any assistance. Not, hey, a $50,000, like, elevator. No, a ramp that could probably be cost $200.
Yeah, for sure.
I can make one for $200.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that hard. But they thought you might as well just kill yourself because you're going to be able to kill yourself faster than we can get you that ramp.
That is literally nuts. What is MAID? So prescription is
Medical assistance.
So, and what does that entail?
That means a doctor gives you a sedative to the point where you die.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is that like what happened to Michael Jackson?
What happened? I don't know what happened to Michael Jackson because this is fairly recent, and I think Michael Jackson just OD'd.
OD'd on sedatives.
Yeah.
Or that was administered by a doctor.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I did not know that part.
Medically assisted.
Michael Jackson.
Okay, wait. It's medically. What is it?
It's MAID, medical assistance in death.
Okay.
She's looking it up.
Okay. Yep. All right. Medical assistance in dying is a process through which a doctor and nurse practitioner. Dude, if I'm gonna get off, it better be by a doctor or nurse practitioner. No hate on nurse practitioners. I know it's also really tough to become one of those. You guys gotta be really. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Assists an individual at their request to intentionally end their life. MAID is administered with the aids of drugs that can be taken orally or administered intravenously. No matter which option is chosen, a physician or nurse practitioner is always present during the process. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, to be eligible for MAID, you must meet all the criteria. 18 years of age, eligible for publicly funded health services in Canada, SUS. You're able to make decisions about your health and provide informed consent. You are grievously and irremediably. You have a grievous and irremediable medical condition. No one come for me. I don't know how to read. You have diagnosed with a serious or incurable illness. Your medical condition has advanced or declined to a point where it cannot be reversed. Unbearable physical or mental suffering. Right. You do not need to have a fatal or terminal condition to be eligible for MAID.
That part's insane. Insidious.
I mean, I think everybody should have the right to end their own life.
If you have terminal cancer, you have no family, you're just waiting the clock. I can see why you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to jump off a roof.
I feel like that would be like the worst option. Like, hey, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it in a really painful way that might have other repercussions because I don't die.
Well, you don't die because of the fall. You die because you suddenly stop.
Yes, well, sometimes when you jump off a roof, you just break your legs and then...
Well, if you go head first, you're not...
I didn't like that mental picture. Anyways, I feel like people should have the right. You know, if they don't want to live, with conditions, obviously, if you're sick, if you just, you have to, not anybody who is depressed for one day can go in and be like, kill me. You know, there has to be some sort of
But again,
bureaucratic bullshit behind it.
it's a slippery slope
Mm-hmm.
because then someone sues because, well, this person has to deal with the same issue I do, but they get it and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to loosen restrictions to the point where you're like, oh, if you just want to start a shotgun, go right ahead.
I don't know. I feel like there should definitely be some rules and regulations and like firm ones. But like if somebody has cancer or somebody's paralyzed, they can't move their body, you know, yeah, I think if they so chose, they should be able to be like, see ya. Like this isn't the life that I want to live. Like but I also believe in like autonomy over one's life. You know, you should live how you want to live and do what you want to do. Obviously, that's very American of me because we are the land of the free. I think people should be able to have that choice again with some bureaucratic bullshit involved.
Yeah, but then I just see this going down to where like there's no restrictions and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. You get, I can point to abortion and see the exact thing happening where it became safe, legal, and rare in the 90s to some states you can get an abortion after birth.
What do you mean after birth?
You can deliver the child, make it comfortable, and then this is like after you go through the 9 months. And
so you give birth and then you what state is that? I gotta fact check.
It's either like California or
because that's actually
Virginia almost had it in their laws. So I can point to like that right now, where like you can kill a baby after it's born.
Oh yeah, DeSantis falsely claims some states allow post-birth abortions. None do. So there's no evidence to support this. So I don't think that that's correct. Okay, let's see. Fact check.
Let me look.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Yeah, I don't think that that's right. I do think that there are some there. I know there were some states that would allow abortion in the third trimester, which is nuts because like that baby could be alive outside the womb, and at that point, like have the baby and put it up for adoption. You know, I believe in abortion in the beginning stages of pregnancy. I think that that's fair and that's a choice, and it's not like a living, breathing being at that point. It has no possibilities of becoming a human or full blown human, I guess I should say. But yeah, there should definitely be some bureaucratic bullshit behind that because baby could live outside the womb. You should then go ahead and see it through and put it up for adoption, because I think that is a little bit different than like somebody who's 6, 7, 8 weeks pregnant just realized they're pregnant and this is not even a fetus yet. It's a clump of cells. I think that that's fair.
Again, it's a slippery slope to that point because it was almost a law in Virginia. I cannot stress this enough.
What? Let's read that. I mean, that's not what I'm reading, but that's not. I mean, that's not to say.
The governor was opposed. Like, I'm not opposed. The governor was like really like shamed because of it.
Yeah, well, that's like that describes a procedure that crosses the line from abortion to infanticide, which is, I believe, is true. I do not think like post-birth abortion is like even up for discussion. Like, I think that that's crazy. Well, also like euthanasia, like disorders that are termination of life, or serious disorders, like some of them, yeah, I think that's also kind of fair. Like the child is like severely mutated or has like such a serious illness that it's killing them and they're in pain.
But that is so rare.
It is, yeah.
But
I think there should be.
It's not even a percentage. It's not even a percentage of a percentage.
Not anymore because of modern like healthcare. Like we're going to see those things well in advance, and most up until this point, because abortion was legal. Not, I don't want to generalize because I don't know, but I would assume most women, if they knew the baby had a serious defect, would go ahead and then get an abortion in order for the child to not be in and pain, I suppose. Not sure.
But then, like, you think about it, at what point autism is a disorder that should be aborted?
But you can't tell if a child is autistic in the womb, first and foremost.
We're getting close where we can.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and I know that I feel like that's one of the disorders that a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about. So I can see like the worry about it. But like if I knew my child was autistic, I wouldn't. So like from my POV, it's just like, but if I knew my child had like some like, I don't know, like some sort of like, what is it when like the spine doesn't fully develop and then there's like a 90% chance that it dies?
I have no idea.
I'm trying to think of this disorder. Yeah, me neither. Anyways, there's a disorder, and if I'm not speaking to it quite correctly, don't come for me. But something like that, where there's a high chance that they're not going to survive. And if they do, their life is going to be incredibly tough. You know, I wouldn't want to bring a child into the world knowing that, because I might not always be around to take care of that person and bring that person into this world.
If you bring in a child, you have to come with the knowledge that you will never be in this world long enough for that child to always have.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's exactly my point. I wouldn't want to bring in a child that is would be super dependent to the point where like they would then live in a state of either most likely homelessness or, you know, some sort of
terror. No, yeah, and I understand that, but like it sounds way too close to eugenics.
What is that? Only allowing like certain types of people and things to
blue eyes, blonde hair. Yeah. I'm just saying it sounds way too close to
eugenics. I get that. I understand the sentiment, and I think there are two sides of the coin where it's like it could be done right and it could be done terribly, terribly wrong. I'm not the all-seeing eye. I don't know what the answer is. I just can see both sides of where any sort of abortion for any sort of reason is bad. Then I can also see why certain cases are for the betterment of society, not in a sense of like betterment of society. Like if you were raped and then now you're a 13-year-old pregnant, like I'm saying, like
I actually saw some studies. Don't hate me. These are studies where like if the woman takes care of that child, they are able to process rape so much more better than if they gave it up.
Well, I think that might be a pretty biased report, because like, yeah, they're able to get through it better because they have something that good that came from it in a sense, because like you can't, some women will give birth to this child and it will be a reminder for them. Other ones, it will be a reminder, but they'll grow that love, right? So I can see it, but I think it's disillusioned because it's like
This is like one study, and I like read it years ago, and I'm like, that's interesting.
It is interesting. I like to see it because because I think that that's like an interesting topic.
Yeah, I have to go and find it again. So you want to keep talking?
It's about 6 o'clock. I think we should wrap up.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of a short episode today.
Yeah.
Just
Short episode because I am sponsoring, me and my boyfriend are sponsoring a foster child this Christmas, and I have to go drop all of his stuff off, and I got to stop and get one more thing for his gift.
She's
So-
being a saint. I am being selfish and going to Africa
Yeah,
to go and propose. It's gonna be. I'm gonna release these episodes after Christmas. I need like a backlog just in case
okay.
like things happen, like your
Mhm.
trip.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was one episode of Hot Takes Two Mics, and I think we had some pretty hot takes, all funded by a lot of misinformation, a lot of just information that we have.
Yeah. All right. See you next episode, guys. Peace.